let's get rid of some books. Bonjour mon petit chevalier, Amber here. And one, is this too much of the same color blue going on? Perhaps. Am I going to waste more time trying to find a different scarf while I'm treating my hair before I wash it? No. But I'm also wearing my Welcome to Storybrooke shirt because, oh, this is my mom's, but it doesn't matter. Because 2 years ago today we were in Vancouver. I think we went to Steveston yesterday, 2 years ago. And I'm really emo about it because my mom and I are supposed to be going back to Vancouver in 2 weeks, but for her birthday, but Miss Rona said, you thought. Anyway, so today we're doing something I have been wanting to do for a very long time. I've been toying with the idea of doing it. Today, I am filming my first book unhaul. Now, if you had asked me a few years ago if I'd ever even consider getting rid of any book I owned, regardless of how I felt about it, or whether I still had plans to read it or whatnot, I probably never would have spoken to you again, if I'm being very honest. Like, get out. But things are a little different now. For one, I don't have the space to keep holding on to books that I just have no for anymore, you know. Whether it's because I've read them and didn't like them, I haven't thought about them and don't plan to read them, whatever. Right now, currently, sorry if you hear this jangling, I'm wearing a charm bracelet and I might regret it. Currently, I'm working with a tiny bookcase. It's literally about this wide. There are about 5 rows, and everything that doesn't fit on there is either between 2 containers in our hall closet or in storage. Most of my book collection is in storage, so I have to like start being more conscious and vigilant about at least getting rid of books, because I have a problem with buying books. Anyway, because I have more books than I thought I would, I'm gonna stop talking. I decided to do this. I'm like, I'm just gonna probably just have like 4 or 5 books that I'll get rid of. But one, I've been thinking this up for a couple months now, so I've been kind of like, I've been forming a list in my head of books I might include in this unhaul. And also yesterday, I was going through one of the book containers in the closet. I was looking for a book. As I was going through looking for the book, I realized like a lot of these can also go. So some of these are from Tiny Bookshelf, some are from the containers in the closet, and some are, I think some are ones that I had pulled out before I took another chunk of books around to the storage unit. So anyway, like I said, let me do this. I'm not going to go into details about what the books are about. I'm just going to flip through. So the first book is actually I haven't read this book at all, and it's this large print edition of Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I haven't yet to read Strange the Dreamer, and I ordered this actually from Half Price Books, I think. But when I was browsing, because I'm always on the lookout for the UK cover because it's beautiful, and I know there's like no chance that I'll find it, but you know, I'm always looking out. And this was actually advertised as that version on the website, so I ordered it. I was like, what are the chances? And when it showed up, it was this US cover large print edition. So I'm like, I could keep it, but this isn't the one I want, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Let me start off by saying actually that most of these books will probably go to my library. I've been donating more and more books to my local library around the corner. I'll probably take a few around to the hospital. I know the last time I went to my mom's doctor's appointment with her, they have like a little library in the corner in the waiting room, so I'll probably take some around there. Anyway, eventually I would like to get a copy of this book. So this was in a bag that a little suitcase that I've been hoarding my unhauls before I really went into it. So the rest of this pile are the rest of the books that were in there with it. And these books were on my Depop, this row of books, but they've been on there for months, so I'm just gonna get rid of them and start fresh, I guess. The next one is Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. I didn't like this book, didn't care about it, didn't care about any of the characters, wanted the book to be over a lot sooner than it was. So next we have Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls by Lynn Weingarten, and I think I liked this book, or it was alright. I don't see me rereading it in the future. I think there's a I don't know if there's a sequel or if it's a like a companion novel, whatever. The next book doesn't really fall in any of these categories, and this was a Fake Rate book back when I got Fake Rate every month, and it is Love Struck by Kate Watson. And when I got this book, one, it wasn't anything that was on my radar, and then reading the synopsis, I wasn't really too interested. It doesn't necessarily sound bad, I'm just iffy with YA contemporaries, and that's what this is. It does have like a fantastical mythological twist to it, but it didn't tickle my pickle. All right, next we have a staple in the YA community that at one point I considered a fave. I said that I loved, and it's 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. The first time I read it, I rented it from the library, and then I think I bought it to reread it before the show came out, and I realized that I actually don't really like this book that much, and I also hate the show. So some more YA staples. We have If I Stay and Where She Went by Gail Foreman. These were alright. I liked this one a lot better than I liked this one, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to reread them. I don't need them. I don't need them. And then last we have, in this chunk of books, None of the Above by I.W. Gregorio. And I actually liked this book. I felt like I liked it. I felt like it could have been more. I felt like it was lacking a bit, but it wasn't a bad book. I just, once again, I'm not going to reread it. I wasn't in love with it, so I'm sure someone else can benefit from reading it. I do think it's a very important book though. So this is the first one I've ever read with an intersex character, so like I said, someone else can definitely benefit from reading this book. Okay, let's shift to the next pile. Which one do I want to do next? This one I'm kind of on the fence about because it is a classic, even though I read it and hated it. Hate is a strong word. I didn't care about it, and I don't remember anything that happened in it, but I might keep it. Also because like I know my mom picked this up for me at the library back in the day because I decided I wanted to get more into classics, and it's Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I have talked extensively about how I just can't vibe with Jane Austen. I have tried 2 of her books, Sense and Sensibility, and then I also listened to Pride and Prejudice. Tried to read this physically, couldn't get into it. Then I listened to it on the audiobook, still don't know what happened in the book. Then I listened to Pride and Prejudice, don't know what happened in that book. So if I keep it, it's just because it's a classic and for like nostalgic purposes, but I'm probably gonna get rid of it. Oh, I'm gonna hold off on this for a sec. Next we have another book that was picked up from the library. Free books, well, it's not, it used to be the free book section in the library, but it is Cocktails for Three by Madeline Wickham. I don't remember getting this book. I don't remember what this book's about. It says from the author of the Shopaholic series, so like Confessions of, what's it called? Because I almost said Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, something Shopaholic, whatever. Anyway, I don't know what this is about. I'm assuming it's some sort of contemporary, don't know. I don't remember getting it, so I don't need it, right? Haven't thought about it until yesterday when I saw it for the first time. I was like, what is this? Next. Okay, Next is a book that's quite popular. The next couple are books that are quite popular, but I really wanted to love this book. It's The Power by Naomi Alderman. Like I just said, wanted to love this book, and it just didn't do it for me, and I was really disappointed. So like everything else, I don't see me rereading it. I don't see me doing much of anything with it, so I'm going to get rid of it. And the thing is that I have to keep telling myself is that if I feel so inclined or regret getting rid of it, I can get another copy of the book. It's not that deep. It's something I have to keep telling myself. Also realize I can't get rid of books unless my mom's there to be like, yeah, get rid of it, because then I'll just keep talking myself out of it and keep saying, yeah, I'm gonna unhaul this, and then I don't do it, which is why it's taken me this long to film this video. All right, so next is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I hated this book so much. I have a frozen bookmark in here. I am so glad I flipped through this. This was from the library, and this was like the only bookmark that I was using for a while, and I like self-laminated it with some tape to preserve it. Oh, that's cute. Anyway, I think I have a vlog or something where I'm talking about reading this book, and it just made me so mad. And you know, Saoirse Ronan does not deserve this. Saoirse Ronan deserves better. I just never thought I'd hate a main character more than Bella Swan, but Stephanie Meyer has a way of topping herself. I can't hold on to this. I cannot. I can hold on to the Twilight books because I do feel something for them. I feel a couple somethings for them. Not all of them are good, but there's also that nostalgia factor. I don't have that with this, so goodbye. Also, I'm not really big on movie covers on books. Next, this is probably gonna upset some people perhaps, but this was a very popular book. But if you watch my vlogs, you know, it's Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi, and it really hurts me to get rid of this because its cover is still so beautiful. I love it so much, but I could not deal with this book. When I was doing my reading vlog, if you don't know, that month, whatever month that I read this, in 2018, doesn't matter, I had to take all of the content of me reading this book and make it its own separate vlog because I was going through it. I was struggling, and as much as I want to hold on to it for, you know, the cover and possible bookstagram content, I can't do this to myself. I need the space. We'll see. This is another one that I'm going back and forth with because I do want to keep it for the aesthetic. This is why I'm not good at this stuff. Next is another book that I absolutely hated, and it's The Three by Sarah Lotz. This book I started reading, I think I wanted to read it for around Halloween a couple years ago, and it took so long to get through it, and I hated every second of it, and it just dragged on for no reason. And the three were a side character in their own story, and it just felt really bad, so she gotta go. And the last in this section is a conclusion of a trilogy. For now, I'm keeping the first two books, but the third one has got to get out of my house, and it's Reached by Ali Kandi, and this is the third book in the Matched trilogy. There's also an entire reading vlog dedicated to me reading through the series, because that's how I used to do it. When I would read a series, I would vlog, or would I vlog? No, I'd review each book as I finished reading it and then put it all in one vlog. Does that make sense? I'll link a few below so you can understand what I mean. I did that for this series, and the Divergent series. I think did I do it for the Maze Runner also? I don't remember, but Maybe I'll start doing it again when I read, but that's the thing, I don't read. Like, as of right now, I'm reading series as they come out. So like the series that I'm into are still, the books are still being released in the series. Maybe I'll pick one and that's already completed. Maybe I should have done that for Shadow and Bone, the Grisha books. Anyway, so like I said, for now I'm keeping the first two. I actually loved Matched. The first book is so good and so promising, and I had such high hopes for the rest of the series, and it just let me down colossally. So this was the main offender, so this has got to go. Book 2, which was the blue one, Crossed, was just mediocre, was just okay. So, but this pissed me off. And honestly, I'm probably now gonna, when I'm finished filming, go watch my review of that book. Okay, we're in the last chunk of books. Next is, I've had this book for so long, oh my god. Next is My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. Like I just said, I've had this for so long. This is the movie cover. I've seen the movie and I intended to read the book after I saw the movie, possibly even before I saw the movie. I just never got around to doing it. A former friend gave me this copy. Haven't read it. Have barely thought about reading it, so I guess it's gotta go, right? Staying with book to movie adaptations, we have Room by Emma Donoghue. I love the movie so much. I love this movie so much. Jacob Tremblay is adorable and just so good. Brie Larson is so good in that movie. Oh my goodness, the movie's so good. There was a time where I used to watch it like every night to go to bed. I'm one of those people. I need to be listening to something, not music, because then I'll get distracted, but like if it's something with dialogue, a movie or a TV show or an audiobook, I can kind of just zone out. So, and it's usually the same few things, because if it's something I haven't seen in a while, I can't focus on it. So it's either always Once Upon a Time, one of the Narnia movies, Hunger Games, or Catching Fire, The Book Thief. Sometimes we'll throw in some Twilight, or most times it's also Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. I have listened to that book. I can probably quote it off the top of my head. I could tell Trevor his life story, you know? Weird. So, Room's gonna go. I did not enjoy this book at all. I found it really annoying. I think I found it really boring. Jack, I know Jack is 5, but Jack was so irritating in the book. Okay, the next 2 books are by the same author, and they're probably gonna upset some people. They've gotta, or I guess author's not the right word, same poet. They've gotta go. And Milk and Honey and The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. Now this is a complicated situation. I did not completely hate these books. As you can see, I've tabbed a bunch of thoughts, but one, like I said, thoughts. Some of these poems just feel more like thoughts, just a thought she had and wrote it down, and you know, good for you. But then there's the issue that I'm just discovering with Rupi's seeming plagiarism of a black poet, and how she got the stardom and the credit. So all of that, and how the poet, what is her name? Hold on, please hold. Nayyirah Waheed, I believe that's her name. She's also called Rupi out on it, and I think got no response. But also, I don't know, this is a whole controversy, a whole debacle that you can Google if you want to find out for yourself, but it doesn't sit right with me to keep these around. It's like, the thing is, like, the style of poetry isn't even the problem for me, or even the thoughts, because I also have Amanda Lovelace's Women Are Some Kind of Magic trilogy, and I love those so much. So, and they're kind of like in a similar vein, but I'm definitely holding on to those as of right now, but just didn't sit right with me to keep these. So alright, so next we have a short story collection that I wanted to love, but I didn't, and it's Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. And the thing is, it's not that I didn't like this collection. One, I bought this book. I bought it for my Harry Styles book haul, link it, and I picked this book in particular because I don't remember who, someone on BookTube was raving about it and mentioned that there was a short story inspired by, and also like revolving around Law & Order SVU, which is one of my favorite shows. So I was like, yeah, I gotta get it. That was maybe one of my least favorite stories in this whole thing. I also felt like it was too deep for its own good, you know? So I like something that I have to think about, but like after every story almost, I had to just sit down and rack my brain trying to put together what I just read and what it meant, and this just didn't do it for me. So I don't want to hold on to it. I don't want to hold on to it. I don't know. Okay, next we have The Crying Rocks by Janet Taylor Leasley. This book wasn't it. Also, I really feel like the indigenous representation was the opposite. It was definitely felt misrepresented, and the indigenous people in this story just felt misrepresented and very stereotypical, and just the whole premise, Joelle's height and dark skin set her apart from everyone in Marshfield. Like, is that the only requirement for being an indigenous person? Being tall and not white? Because I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, this book annoyed me. The main character, I know she's like 12 or something, irritated me. Bye. Next I have another copy of My Sister's Keeper. I think I picked this one up from the library, but I already talked about that book. Next is Black Dove, White Raven by Elizabeth Wein. Now this book didn't offend me in any way. It isn't particularly bad or anything. I just probably won't read it again. It was fine. I read a lot of World War II novels, and I liked the change of location in this one. Most of the ones that I read take place in Europe. This one takes place in Ethiopia, so that was different. That was a change, but you know, it is what it is. We have another popular bookternet book, and this one's maybe the most recent one that I've read. But as I said before, when I think talking about emergency contact, if you watch my videos frequently, you know this was one of my most disappointing reads of 2019, and that was Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This is another one that hurts my soul because I love this cover so much. And like Emergency Contact, which I didn't mention, Rory Power's second book is coming out soon, and I'll most likely read it. Just like I didn't mention when I was talking about Emergency Contact, but I'm probably going to read Mary H.K. Choi's second book eventually. I don't remember what it's called right now. Permanent Record also has a beautiful cover. I think I've heard more positive reviews of that one, so that's promising. So I'm willing to give it a chance, especially because this is a sophomore book. It's not a debut, so I feel like there's some growth. Same with, can't remember what the second one, it's not a sequel, but Rory's second book is called But There's Corn in It. But this cover's so beautiful, but I hated this book. It just fell flat for me. It was very underwhelming. I didn't hate it. It was underwhelming. The characters were flat. I didn't care about anybody in this book. The ending pissed me off, so I guess she's gotta go. That hurts. The last two are two that I'm definitely on the fence about. I just brought them over because I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. The first one is Fig by Sarah Elizabeth Shantz, and I think I like this book. I don't remember it actually, but I don't think I'm going to reread it. Wasn't groundbreaking. It was interesting though. And the last is But Not Forever by Jan von Schle. And as you can see, there's still a bookmark in it because I started reading this book, put it down, I couldn't get into it. The premise really sucked me in because it reminded me of this movie that I was obsessed with when I was little, Time at the Top. So like that, just I wanted to love it, but I couldn't really get into it. I don't know if it's a YA book because like the characters are all teenagers, but it doesn't feel like it feels younger. And I'm only 45 pages in. I've been sitting at 45 pages for like a year now, I think. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if and the thing is, like, I've put down books and come back to them. All the ones that I have recently I loved. I did it with not The Wrath and the Dawn, We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faizal. I did it with Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, and recently I just finished reading The Beautiful by Renee Attia. But like, I don't think about this book except to think about how I don't feel like reading it. So I feel like that should tell me that I should get rid of it, right? Right. That was a lot. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 books. Definitely more than 4. Also definitely means that I can buy some more books, right? But yeah, I did not expect to have this many books to unhaul, but at the same time I think filming this kind of releases me, and now I am obligated to actually go through with it and get rid of them. I guess I don't know how to feel. It feels a little liberating, I suppose. Thank you for watching and sitting through and being a part of this journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like me, feel free to subscribe. All my places are down here so you can follow me. I'll follow you back, and I'll see you very soon. Wash your hands.